We'll never raise your subscription price because we're free, putting money in your pocket every time you listen. Sports Radio, The Ticket.
Prater the Ballgame, Idaho Sports Talk. Where are they now? Former Boise State football players. A fun summer series we're doing, Prater, and I'm excited for this one as well.
Let's dive in, my friend. Let's do it.
Again, maybe the most important touchdown caught in the history of Boise State football was made in the 07 Fiesta Bowl overtime by this guest. He played for Eagle High School. He starred on the Blue. He played in the NFL. Now he's with us, Derek Schouman. What's going on, Shu? Welcome to Idaho Sports Talk. I don't know when the last time you were on this show was, but we're really excited to have you on. What's new, man?
Oh, man, all the things are new, but thanks so much for having me. It's truly a pleasure. And, life is good. No complaints.
Well,
that was pretty embarrassing.
You're looking good. You look like you could still handle yourself if you had to, Shu. Staying in shape. I love it. Fill us in. How's life right now? What are you up to?
Yeah, life is good as far as work goes. I'm with the Boise Fire Department doing the fire thing and EMT stuff, and I just love it. It really, truly fulfills me in a way that football did, and I'm just super grateful for that.
Talking to Derek Schouman, former Boise State tight end legend and NFL football player living here in the Boise community. Now let's talk about that, Derek. How did you get into that? There's a few other Boise State football players that have done it. It seems like a natural fit, but it's certainly not for everybody.
Yeah, you're right. So it really isn't. I'll try to keep this story short, but years ago I actually considered it and panicked because I'm actually afraid of heights, right? In small spaces. So a few things that we kind of have to encounter. So I steered away from it and went about life and circled back, as you get older. But I don't know if you remember a friend of mine, Dane Oldham, right? Former Bronco. And he was kind of my go-to with the department there and filled me in and kind of reignited that fire a bit. And I'm about 2 years in now and just loving every day. It doesn't even feel like work. I just love it.
I want you to take me into give me a 2-minute TV show here version of your life. I don't want to picture you sitting around watching TV and making dinner for the guys because I'm assuming you're out there doing very important work. How often are you out there? How close have you come? How often do you get out there and fight fires?
Yeah, well, that answer is just going to be, it depends, right? There are days that are slow and there are certain areas of the city that are slower. And so right now I kind of go around to multiple stations wherever they need a hole or like wherever there's a hole and need filling, I'll go. Sometimes it is slow, not a lot of TV, but because you find plenty of things to learn and keep yourself busy. But I'd say about 2 weeks ago, 2 fires in one night, where we were first on scene and go barging into a home on fire and It's too hot to stand, it's like face melting. So it forces us to the floor and we kind of go and do our, I was on a truck company. So I was working for a search, looking for people and things. And there are days there, just like you'd see in the movies. And there are days that you hear people joke about where, hey, it's slow and, you have to cook dinner and you have to clean and take inventory and do regular job things.
But dude, you're a big boy. You can handle this question. You're in a profession where you could die. I mean, do you ever get scared and have you ever come close or do you feel pretty confident in your abilities?
I feel very confident in my abilities, but even more so the teams that I've been a part of, the leadership is they kind of dot their I's and cross their T's. They have good process and I truly trust them. I think that's super important is they're not going to put themselves or me in a situation that is questionable. They take great pride in being professionals, and I truly appreciate that. So I'm not terribly afraid of dying. I just know that technically it's a possibility, but we're going to make sure that we're extra safe.
Well, Derek Schouman with us again, one of the more popular Boise State tight ends in history, NFL, Eagle High School. Now he's fighting fires for the Boise Fire Department. Shu, did firefighting, was this to fill a void that maybe you didn't have in your life post-football? I hear a lot of people post-football or post-athletic careers find other careers that can push them, not only physically, but mentally, and put themselves on the line a little bit, so to speak. Where did this come from? Was it to fill that void that maybe you didn't get anymore playing football?
Yeah, you know what? Again, that's a long story, too, and I've tried desk jobs. I've done accounting work. I still do real estate because that's exciting for me personally, but as far as firefighting goes, it correlates a lot to football and kind of things that Chris Peterson talked about and all just things that you're used to, right? So there's teamwork, camaraderie, brotherhood. There's game day moments. We're driving first on scene to a fire and you can see these blazes going. You still have that little bit of excitement. It feels like running out of the tunnel on a game day. Those types of things. But more importantly for me, the things that I'm just so accustomed to is is the team aspect of things. This is not a one-man show. There's so many people involved, just like a well-oiled machine, kind of just like football in that environment. Just something that I had been missing, and Fire definitely fills that void.
Derek Schouman, where are they now? It's our Boise State football summer series. We're doing it once a week, all summer long, right here on Idaho Sports Talk. Derek, let me ask you this very basic, simple question. Did you find yourself when you were a football player to be a pretty intense, pretty hard-driven dude?
I am very self-motivated. I don't know if that answers your question. So sometimes probably a little hard on myself.
Yeah.
Because I expected perfection, and if it came up short, not if but when. Sometimes that was hard to handle. So that's just been something I've had to learn and grow and mature with. But yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you were known for that guy. And if you didn't make the play, you're pounding the turf with your fist because you're fired up.
Man.
You're a very driven guy, very intense. I guess I'm leading to another part of that question. We just spent 5 minutes talking about you as a fireman. You mentioned that you're also doing a little real estate on the side. Dude, you're also raising 3 kids by yourself?
Yeah, I mean, their mother is involved a little bit, but it's something that I'm super passionate about, is being a dad. Talk about something that truly is fulfilling and challenging. I'd say parenthood checks all those boxes. So yeah, I got 3 kids, and they're young. My youngest is 7, and my oldest is 11, and it keeps me plenty busy. And it's just really never a dull moment.
What's a day in the life like of Daddy Derek? Kind of walk us through a day, dude.
Sure. Well, I mean, good grief, it depends, but I try to make sure that we have something lined up to keep the kids busy and make sure that their minds are stimulated and their bodies, I guess. But we, I mean, summer's different, obviously, right? There's no school, but we'll wake up and cook a little breakfast and then try to find something to do before it gets too hot outside. So maybe it's bikes, maybe it's a park, maybe it's a hike in the hills. Come back, grab a little bite, and then lately my kids have really been into this place in Nampa. It's like those trampoline parks. So we'll take them there when it gets a little too hot inside, and they can go jump around and get all those wiggles out. And I mean, it's just one thing after another. Obviously food. It feels like I cook 20 different meals every day because they all like different things, and I try to make sure they eat. But, yeah, it's just nonstop, right?
I would imagine you're doing a few loads of laundry here and there as well.
Oh, gosh, it's never ending, right? I mean, this is the mundane side of life, right? The laundry and the dishes, it's just never ending.
I love it, man. Derek Schouman with us on this. Derek, you played 4 seasons in the NFL, 3 with Buffalo, 1 with the Rams. When you said goodbye, when you hung it up, when you said football no longer, was that a you decision or was that an NFL decision? Were you injured? What took you away from the game?
Yeah, a little bit of both. So I had been coming off of an injury, healing up best I could. And I tried for 2 more seasons, went to a couple more training camps and got cut. And that's when the side of me that I wish I could go back and just kind of slap into shape. I basically said, this is the NFL telling me it's not my time. But I was 25 years old and I'd never been in better shape. I really wish I would have maybe tried it again, right? Because you just never know. But a little bit of the NFL telling me and a little bit of me just being like, hey, you know what? It's time to move on. So
you caught that 1 touchdown, your 1 career NFL touchdown, that second season with Buffalo in 2008. I don't know if you remember that specific play or you have another. What's your favorite memory from the NFL?
Oh, man. My favorite memory from the NFL, probably my first play ever. I mean, there's so many. I feel like I was given a lot of great opportunities, but I played against some names that I grew up watching or things that I was excited about. I mean, had some plays against Ray Lewis, right? Now it's always good. And the Patriots at the time, we played them twice a year, and that was during their defensive, and offensive dynasty. So a lot of big names and big moments, but honestly, just in general, the home crowd of Buffalo, I'll never forget. I mean, getting your name called, run out of a tunnel was pretty exhilarating, right? I mean, that's not even playing football, but those are those moments that kind of geek you out a little bit.
Bills Mafia, heck yeah. What a fan base that is. Shoot, why were you number 91 at Boise State? I've always you tight ends that wear numbers in the 90s, dude. You bug me. It's a football pet peeve for me. You look like some D tackle, and then that's a D tackle number. Why were you number 91, Shoe?
I have a story for that. I remember it. I was in the gym working out, and Dale Holsey, he's the equipment manager, right? He was walking out the clipboard, giving people numbers, and I was just a nobody freshman just trying to make a way. And he walked in, he's like, Schouman, you're 91. I'm like, yes, sir. But I remember inside being like, oh, come on, man. This is a trash number. And anyways, I ended up playing, right, and doing a few things. And once the crowd started yelling Shoe that next season, I'm like, you know what? I don't think I can change numbers because I don't want to have to redo all the things. And it just grew on me. I come to love it, But initially, I was super bummed.
What about the NFL? Because I think you were 80 and maybe even an 88 in the NFL.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. So 80, right? A normal number, I guess, for a tight end. And at that point, honestly, the number meant nothing to me. I couldn't have, cared less. I was just really happy and blessed to, kind of realize where I was at. So the number to me didn't matter, but I'll never forget that BSU moment.
I'm going to take a guess and say if I broke my way into your home, I wouldn't find one piece of football memorabilia. And I'm going to guess the last time you told somebody that you played football in the NFL was maybe 5 years ago. I don't know. You just don't seem like that kind of dude.
Yeah, I think you're probably right. I did recently buy a home in December, and a couple months ago, I hung up some things in the garage. I got a gym in the garage, and so that's where my former life lives, but it had been in boxes for over a decade, and I'd prefer nobody know that I played. It's just sometimes a better way to do things. But.
Well, Shu, I've been waiting about 15, 16 years to ask you this question, so I'm glad I'm talking to you now. I can ask it. So take me back in the huddle. It's 4th down. It's the biggest play in the history of the program, and you're sitting there and you're shaking your head saying, so what? Wait, we're going to do a halfback pass with this Prater dude, and they're going to find me in the back of the end zone. Wait, what the hell? What was going through your head on that when you knew this is the play of the year? It's coming to you, and it's going to be thrown by Vinny Prater. Eh?
Oh, man. Yeah, so exciting, right? Yeah, I actually was really happy that was a call. I knew it would work. I was 100% confident in my ability as well as Vinny's. For me, it was not like, oh no, it's Vinny throwing it. It was like, hell yeah, like this is going to work. And this is a big moment. And I was just ready for it. So I'm just blessed. And I mean, even to this day, thankful that was the play that the coaches decided to call, and couldn't have scripted kind of the end of my college career any better. I just truly look back on it, feel fortunate and blessed.
That voice you hear, Derek Schouman, former Eagle High, Boise State, and NFL tight end. This is our Boise State Summer Where Are They Now series. Derek Schouman, Boise Fire Department, doing a little real estate, father of 3 kids. You're also a crazy, intense outdoor and fitness guy, travel, backpacking, mountain biking, camping, hiking, you name it, you're doing it out there. Talk to us a little, don't give up your favorite spot, but what are you doing out there in the great Idaho outdoors?
Sure. Yeah. Oh man, anything. I love the mountains, and that's, if it was like up to me, I'd move there, but that's not the life of a father. Sometimes it's easier to be in the city, but yeah, recently I did some paddleboarding in Hagerman, and that was super fun. Something I'm just getting into in the last year or two. But I mean, something as simple as just hiking these hills here. We're so lucky to have them so close. Just kind of a quick, easy out and back. Maybe a month ago, went up to McCall and did some hiking. So really anything, honestly, I'm up for it. There's plenty of apps out there just to give you good ideas. And I usually just try to find an adventure and get out there and see what we have to work with.
You told me earlier today that you do not watch television. You told me today you're not a football fan. You love playing the sport, but you're not sitting on 3 hours on your butt on Sundays watching the NFL. Do you miss football? Are you okay with that? And then obviously the TV thing, you're so damn busy, you don't got time to do anything.
Yeah, sometimes that's how it feels. There's plenty of other fun things I like that I try to fill my time with. But yeah, try not to watch TV. I do enjoy a movie here and there, but anyways, I definitely don't watch the sports or keep up with it. I actually prefer more of like the chess game aspect of it than keeping up with stats and names and things. So I'll watch every once in a while, but usually I just watch the O-line and tight ends, nothing too crazy. But for me personally, I try to follow the team here just because my friends are coaching and or some guys that I've met playing. So it's more of like a relational interest for me.
You ever get to the blue shoe? Are we going to see you tailgating with your former teammates and buddies? I mean, how many games do you go to a year?
Yeah, I think last year I made it to 2. That was kind of important for me. It was fun, and yeah, you'll see me out there this year. I actually ran decks with the team probably about a month ago, and
nice.
Yeah, I still have to show me. Old man still got it. So
you're working out with them, Chew? Holy
yeah, why not?
Did you kick their butts?
No, I don't know how to answer that.
He doesn't.
You probably put a body on your back of your butt, and you carried a body up the dang stairs.
Yeah, I try to stay in shape, so it was a good time.
Well, as a former teammate of Andy Avalos, I bet your buddy got a kick out of that, man. You coming down there and running with him and stuff. This has been a blast, Derek. Again, Derek Schouman, Eagle High School, Boise State, the NFL, one of the more popular players. Shoo! Everybody screaming every time he made a big play. And
Yeah,
where are they now this summer? We appreciate your time, and we'll let you get back to the important stuff, Derek. You're the man.
No, my pleasure. Thank you for having me.
I like this series, Prater.
Yeah, this is pretty fun. This is
I
a good
like
one.
this series.
We're about halfway through it. We're still taking some nominees. We got some exciting guests we're working on. But if you know of anybody, any former Boise State football player out there doing anything compelling in the community, in the country, on the planet, let us know, and we'll track him down and we'll figure it out. We're having some fun with this.
Yeah, text us. Who do you want to hear from next? We'll work on it. We'll make this sucker happen. I love it. All right, guys. Hawaii. They're getting a new football stadium, but you might want to know how and why. JP has those details. And tomorrow morning at 9 a.m., go to KTIK.com for this week's sweet deal. You give us $25. We give you $50 to spend at Biscuit and Hogs tomorrow morning, 9 a.m.
This is Idaho Sports Talk with Prater and the Ballgame on Sports Radio 95.3 FM and 13.